This is TWiT.
Paul on the line from Louisville, Kentucky. Hello, Paul.
Hello, Leo. How you doing?
I'm well. Thank you for calling.
I've got a situation where I know you're a carbonite sponsor, and I can't. Thanks to you, years ago, you got me into Linux. So
good, great.
The carbonite doesn't support Linux, and so last year I successfully installed CrashDrive, but they've now are going to end their consumer backup, and you have to go to the business. And so I've signed up with iDrive because they've got a Linux part that you can back up your Linux computers. But even though I've been exclusively Linux for about 10 years, I'm not really an advanced user. I mean, I'm not really a beginner. I'm pretty adept at using Linux, but the one thing that is going to require me to know how to do for the Linux install is scripting.
Yeah.
They've got an instruction on there, and I was just wondering if you know of any good sites to learn the basics of scripting so that I can, if I talk to the tech guy when I call about it, I will at least have a general knowledge of what he's talking about.
Yeah, so this is the drawback, unfortunately, to Linux. Geeks like me don't consider it a drawback because we like getting under the hood.
Yeah.
And so so we look forward to opportunities to script the system. In fact, one of the reasons you won't see a lot of companies offering automated backup for Linux is it's always presumed, well, if you're using Linux, you probably have some solution of your own.
Yeah.
And that's probably the case, and people who use Linux probably want to figure out how to do it themselves, and you can back it up to Amazon's S3 or so. I'm not familiar with iDrive's Linux solution. They offer a download. First of all, which version of Linux are you using? I'm
using Ubuntu, and that will lead. I mean, not Ubuntu, but I'm using Debian, which is.
You're using Debian. Good for you. That's my preferred version of Linux.
Yeah, I like it because I feel like it's the mother of all of them.
It is. Ubuntu's based on it. Mint's based on it.
Yeah, right. And that way, and it's not bloated. It doesn't have a lot of.
I'm a fan.
Things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very simple, and it's supposed to be really rock solid.
So you'll probably, I'm guessing from iDrive, get a DEB. I don't see by the way, I'm looking at iDrive. I don't see a Linux download.
I don't. There's not a I couldn't find a Debian download.
Easily scriptable and customizable. Yeah, all right. iDrive scripts.
So if you go to that page,
I see.
It says visit our scripts page. At the bottom of for the Linux, it has visit our scripts page.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. So you can basically what they're telling you is roll your own using our storage.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a number of other companies that have kind of direct support for Linux in probably a more direct way than this.
Well, one of the things that attracted me is that you can do multiple drive computers and things, and
any solution, for Linux is going to be doing that.
I also got this real dirt, cheap first year, so I thought I would. But do you think that based on what you see there that I could get it running? I just want to know if there's. That's
a lot of work for somebody who doesn't want to become a Linux expert.
Yeah,
companies like Dropbox offer Dropbox for Debian. There are a number of companies that will offer. Here's what I would suggest. The reason you want cloud backup is because you're already doing a local backup. I presume.
Oh yeah. I use a Deja Dupe. Is the backup that I use.
Perfect. Perfect.
I use that to my Western Digital passport drive.
That's great. So you have a local backup, and the idea of cloud backup is it's a worst case scenario thing. What if there's a fire and I lose everything in the house, but then I have it somewhere stored off site? So you could use, for instance, Dropbox to do that, and just say I want to back up and you wouldn't back up all of your data. You would back up just the mission-critical documents folder, the stuff you really know you don't want to lose, that you couldn't duplicate anywhere else. There are a number of programs, companies that offer that kind of simplified cloud backup. Dropbox on Linux looks just like Dropbox on Windows. That would be easier. Let me just look at the scripts. But saying you need scripting worries me a little bit. I'm not sure. Are these bash scripts or this command line shell? I've just downloaded them. Let me look at them. Oh, they're Perl. Okay. This is, I think if you're going to go to the effort to figure out how to do it in Perl, you probably would be better off doing something a little bit more universal. They're Perl
Well, let me
scripts.
ask you this about, you mentioned earlier Amazon. I noticed in my Deja Dupe, they've got, you can back up to the
There you go.
Amazon
S3.
S3.
That's cloud backup. So you're already using Deja Dupe. Turn on the S3 backup. You'll have to, what you'll do is you'll create an Amazon Web Services account, set up what they call a bucket on S3. Yeah. You get from Amazon, you get two secret numbers, an API key and a personal key that you'll give Deja Dupe. There'll be a place where it says, okay, you're going to use S3. What are your secret numbers? Once you've set up the S3 bucket and you've set up an Amazon Web Service account, you give them the numbers. Deja Dupe will do the same thing it's doing to a local drive. It'll do it to S3.
Great. That's what I think I'll do.
That's a better way to go, I think.